The Trickster rework has managed to do something that is unprecedented in the history of Dead by Daylight, and that is bringing the community almost unanimously together, agreeing that this rework is not an upgrade. If anything, Trickster is harder to play now. The skill floor is way higher and is not really more fun to face at all. Maybe after this preface, you expect me to say that no, is so much more fun now, more fun to play as, more fun to play against, so much different. But no, I completely agree. Despite the new flashy UI and different sounds and teams and the whole map that is so nice and all, I really don't see how this is an upgrade, how this is better for the general community. Now, mind you, I started playing when Trickster was still 4.4. So when Trickster came out, he was 4.4 meters per second, the same speed as Huntress Dazzlinger being a projectile killer, and had to injure you with 6 blades, like the current iteration. At some point, he was reworked to injure you with 8 blades and have a way more available main event. So that was probably the more accessible version of Trickster, because while being slow, 4.6 just normal speed, you were 4.6. That meant that you could play loops without using your power if needed. Now they've reverted this. So now Trickster is 4.4 again, can injure you with 6 blades instead of 8. So that should be easier, air quote. But they also give him this point system, the score, the style system, that punishes you for doing certain things that might be necessary. For kicking 2 pallets, for example, you have to do different things or hit survivors consecutively with your blades in order to gain style points and be very strong. That's hard though. Sure, you do get a lot of style points for hitting long distance shots or shots through really small gaps, but that doesn't help the general community get into this character more. If you're playing against Trickster, he's really not different, not that much different. Yeah, he's lower, sure, is more punished for mistakes, and he can be pre-run more efficiently, but he is still one of the strongest campers in the entire game. In my opinion, the strongest camper. So I guess we can ask ourselves, what does rework achieve? And in case my opinions say mixed up until this point, I want to clarify that I completely agree. This upgrade did nothing for the community. No one is going to start to play Trickster because of this update, and no one is going to start to enjoy playing against Trickster because of this update. But I don't think that was the point. I think the point was making the killer more enjoyable and more skill rewarding for the people that already liked to play Trickster. I have seen some Trickster mains being really enthusiastic about this upgrade, and if you see their streams, they are using the rank system, the style system, already very well. They are almost constantly in S rank, almost constantly doing incredible things. Their skill, their ability to hit these trick shots is so rewarding now, which was never before in none of Trickster's iterations. It's hard to understand, right? The skill floor of this killer, at least for me. But in case you don't understand it, I suggest you take a look at the video playing in the background, which is me playing Trickster. For context, I have 3,000 hours in this game, so I'm not new. And how someone that is a hardcore Trickster man plays it. You can see the difference, even if you don't recognize all the things that they do differently. You can see that they are so much more skillful in the character. And at some point, I think we just have to accept that not every character is for us. There's, I think, over 40 killers in this game, and maybe we are not bound to enjoy all of them. Maybe it's okay if this rework is dedicated to some very niche players that really enjoy the Trickster and really wanted this. It's great that they managed to reward skill for this killer without changing the killer's nature. I think about myself and the killers I enjoy. If they changed Legion's power, maybe to upgrade it, to have the killer be more up to date with what is actually in the game now, to, get the killer out of the gutter because it's a very weak killer now, I would probably stop enjoying playing Legion, right? But in this case, the devs, I think, made a fantastic job of making this killer better and more rewarding for the people that like him. And people will play Trickster, right? There will be new people, new player that will be attracted maybe to the aesthetic of the aesthetic of the chapter. I was one of them. When I started playing Dead by Daylight, All Kill was one of the first chapters that I bought because I really liked the team, but I didn't like the gameplay. So yeah, okay. But some of these people that will be attracted by the aesthetic of this chapter will actually like this killer. They will play this killer and they will feel rewarded because their skill matters now. Before, you hit a shot like 40 meters apart or you hit a shot in front of you, that didn't change. Now you get more style points and you can actually be rewarded for your skill. And that's great. And I am very happy for the Trickster mains. Will I play the character more? No, most definitely not. Will the rest of the community play the character more? I doubt that. But I have to say that I do think he is a little bit better to play against now, because before, good or bad, the Trickster would have main event every 5 seconds, while now they have to earn it. And we already know how annoying it is to save against Trickster. It's very complicated, it's very difficult. I would much rather save against a Baba, for example, if I really had to. I think Trickster is really the best camper we have. So that is a small joy, I guess, for the community. You'll see one Trickster every month probably, so I don't think it's really gonna matter. Other things about this chapter. So, first of all, I think the elephant in the room is fast track. Some perks, in case you didn't know, some perks have been reworked with the all kill comeback. So we have the new perks for the new survivor, and we also have some perks reworked from Yunjin and the Trickster. And the Trickster had Hexed crowd control reworked, which it was buffed a little, it was fine. While Yunjin had 2 perks reworked. One is fast track and the other is self-preservation. Now, self-preservation was really bad and it was reworked to give you elusive every time the killer hooks another survivor. While fast track has been reworked to remove charges from generator with the exact same token system that it had before. Now, there is a very strong difference with the way fast track worked before. So before, every time a survivor was hooked, you gain tokens, and whenever you hit a great skill check on a generator, these tokens will be spent in progress. So the generator will progress proportionally to the tokens you had. While now, the tokens actually remove charges from the gen, like a brand new part. That can be a little bit problematic. The game that you are seeing in background should be me using that perk with a gen rushing build, and it was absolutely insane. Against a Trickster randomly, but that was absolutely insane. I do agree that this perk is very, very strong, and I also do agree that both these perks, Fast Track and Self-Preservation, seem to punish killers that are going for spreading hooks. Fast Track hard counters barbecue and chili and friends till the end. Hooks, then against a goal that just hard tunnels you, right? So I do agree that both these perks seem to punish a little killers that are playing very wholesomely, like that are just going for different hooks for 12 hooks maybe. Still, I don't think a way to rework Fast Track in particular would be to make it an anti-tunnel perk of some sort or to punish killers with a certain playstyle, because I don't think that would do anything, okay? If you're playing against a killer that is hard tunneling, right? Let's say that you rework Fast Track to be, you gain 5 tokens every time a survivor is hooked twice in a row. And if someone is dead before 2 gens pop, you automatically remove 20 charges from every generator, right? That is still not gonna save your ass. I am talking not in terms of single escape, but in terms of group escape. If a survivor that is being tunneled is playing very well and is buying a lot of time, you probably don't really need a perk that removes charges from a generator. It's not gonna change much. That survivor is probably gonna die anyway, and 3 other people are gonna escape. Meanwhile, if the survivor doesn't really do a good job and dies very early, you're all also gonna die. The golden rule in Dead by Daylight is usually that if you have one person dead at 2 gens, that's it. Like the team is lost. Yes, maybe one person can escape through the gates or through hatch if they manage to complete the generators. But is that really a victory? Of course not. I think that the anti-tunnel perk makes sense only if it really turns the tide, right? If it gives you like one pit escape, what's the point? Sure, there's gonna be some very, marginal cases, some edge case where you're like, oh yeah, really, a perk like that could really turn the tide here. But I don't know, I've seen too much solo queue to think that that would really make a difference. So how would I change this perk? I don't know. Maybe the anti-tunnel idea would actually be good, or maybe the perk is just not okay the way it is. I like the token system, I like how this perk works, but I don't like how it punishes killers that are just playing the video game. It would be like making survivors exhausted for 2 minutes every time they complete a generator. Like, can you make a perk like that? Sure, but why would you do that? You could make it better and be like, oh yeah, no, survivors only get exhausted if they complete one generator less than 20 seconds apart from the previous one. Yeah, sure, that is gonna counter gen rushing somehow by speeding up your chase, but do we really need something like that? Maybe not. Am I the right person to discuss it? Maybe not, but you're here at this point, so tell me your opinion in the comment, I guess. Everything else on this patch, I think it's fine. The new map, new map, in my opinion, is pretty good for killer. Not just because there are disgusting Trigens spawning, but I mean, there are some incredible Trigens spawning. I was playing with my duo the other day and we had 2 generators literally, I'm not joking, literally 10 meters apart, like one in front of the other. We could have walked 10 steps and be there. So wild. But I also think it's very good for killer in general, except for slow killers, because the pallets are really garbage. There's 1 good pallet on this map and 2 very good windows. That's it. There's nothing else. Everything else, every other pallet is dramatic. Like it's so bad. I don't even know where to start. Sure, you can chain them together, but they're really not strong. Maybe I played like, I don't know, like 15 games on this map as Survivor. Maybe if I played more, I would get a different opinion, but for now I really stand there. So I'm sorry, it's really bad. But yeah, this is all I have to say about the update. I'm not gonna comment on Wesker, I'm not gonna comment on Ghoul. I'm glad for Ghoul, I'm very sorry for Wesker players. That's it. Oh, and Legion is finally been slightly buffed. You cannot get soft locked now anymore every time you get blinded. I mean, before Legion could get soft locked in a fake frenzy whenever you blinded them the moment they entered frenzy. Now that cannot happen anymore. The bug has been there for a billion years. So thanks, finally. And also they removed the weird blackening of the screen whenever you enter frenzy, which I think is, I don't know if it was intended or not. I guess it was okay. Like, I've never suffered too much for it, but it was really difficult for new players, I think. So I'm glad it's been removed. And the point, I think, of this video is not every killer is for you. Not every killer is for me. And that's fine. There's really so many killers out there. Find some that you like. You will definitely find something. There's dash killers, they're very popular. Trap killers, projectile killers, slow killers, fast killers, female killers, main killers, killers that are both male and female, the killers that are 2 killers. Like, there's so much. Find something you enjoy, and congratulations to all the Trickster mains for getting something really cool when it comes to my favorite killers, when it comes to Legion, when it comes to Huntress. I hope they will also receive the same amount of love from the devs. And for now, I think they are. So this is a pretty positive video, which has been a while, but really maybe slowing down the content has done something really, really good for this game.